What is up? It is Maximus MMA, bringing you my full card reaction, breakdown, whatever, recap, whatever you want to call it for UFC Freedom 250. Look, amazing event last night. Okay, outside of the terrorist of the sport, Ciryl Gane getting the victory over the unfortunate pick of the week. Now, we will get back to that in a minute, but let's start off with the main event. We had a huge upset where Justin Gaethje came in and took the belt off of Ilia Topuria. And look, there was no controversy here. Right, and you love fights like that where this was just a scrap. Ilia Topuria came out in the first round, and really his big mistake was he was taking just too many jabs, right? Topuria is mostly known for, kind of wading in and out, not really Philly shell, right, but he brings up the left shoulder a lot, right shoulder. Just, Justin was sticking him, man, and for whatever reason, okay, I don't know what Justin Gaethje did, and in no way, shape, or form am I accusing him of loaded gloves or something like that, but tell me, how did Justin Gaethje's, punches just... It looked like he was hitting Topuria with a brick. Because in the first round, Topuria didn't look like he was too affected by the punches. But again, it looked like he got hit over the head with a brick multiple times. He was so beat up after one round, which, I'll show on the screen here. And then, it just got really bad. Then in the second round, Topuria drops him with some vicious bodywork against the cage, which exactly like I predicted. When he gets you against the cage behind the black line, Topuria is the best in the business of that. We saw it in the fight, but this time he couldn't get Gaethje out of there. Because Gaethje honestly was very smart to go to the ground, right? If he would have continued to stand up and kind of do what Michael Chandler was doing against Ruffy, I think Topuria would have got him out of there, maybe even had the referee stop in. But because he went to the ground, I really think that gassed Topuria out. And that's really not a hot take. Everybody saw it. Topuria, he's landing some good shots in the ground, and then he just kind of lays there, right? He was resting in mount. That was not a good sign. That was when I was like, oh, this might get a little interesting. Like I said in the breakdown, if we go past the second round, third, fourth, fifth round, hey, who knows what's going to happen, right? And we saw what's going to happen. Justin Gaethje started to outland him after that. Seemed to have a little bit more gas in the tank. And just like I said in the breakdown again, Trevor Whitman at the end of the second round said, hey, Justin, we got to go. It's our time. Go at him. And that's why I said Justin Gaethje's got to take matters into his own hands. And he was able to do that after Topuria was a little bit withered and beat up. And, maybe his eyesight was affecting him. I'm sure it was. He was, again, very beat up. And, great win by Gaethje. Huge underdog. And really just... what a career for Justin Gaethje, really. It's a feel-good moment. In hindsight, I really should have thought, how is the American going to lose in the main event of the White House card, right? In hindsight, again, everything's 2020 in hindsight, but it's you know what? A great win for Gaethje. What a fight. Next for Topuria, I really don't know what you do. He's going to need some time off. If I had to think, take 6 to 8 months off. Fight the winner of BSD and Pimblett. I think that's the fight. Justin Gaethje, he didn't take a lot of damage, but I don't think you reward Arman Tsarukyan a title shot because he's busy being a live streamer right now. And giving Ruffy a title shot after beating Michael Chandler, which we'll cover momentarily here, just on merit, that doesn't really seem right to me. So, right, we already saw that with Pimblett, and it backfired. So, yeah. Gaethje, I think, wait around and get the winner of Ruffy Tsarukyan. That's what I think he should do next. But he's older, right? He might want to fight, so we'll see. Okay. Now we have the fight of the night that absolutely just grinded my gears. Look, man. Alex Pereira, we don't fault you, man. Okay, you tried to chase greatness, right? You're going up from middleweight, winning the middleweight belt, win the light heavyweight belt, and trying to win the interim heavyweight belt. Look, that's never been done before. We've never had a triple champ. Chase greatness, man. We can't fault you for that. But he fell short against a terrorist of the sport, Ciryl Gane. Listen here, Ciryl! Tom Aspinall's coming for you! Okay? I hope that Ciryl Gane knows. Bully Tom is coming. And this makes me excited. You can tell I'm fired up. Because look, it's only right that Tom Aspinall gets to kill Ciryl Gane on national television after what Ciryl Gane did to his eyeballs, okay, about a year ago now. The king needs to come back. Tom, we need you, man. I don't care if you've got one eye. You got to come in here and stop this terrorist, man. You have to stop him. Look, Ciryl Gane is the dirtiest fighter in the UFC. I mean, and look, he dropped Pereira with like a straight or a jab as he came in, kind of a flash knockdown. And then Ciryl Gane does what he does best. Probably 7 or 8 unanswered elbows and hammer fists to the back of the head of Pereira. I mean, why do rules not apply to Gane? Now, don't get me wrong. In such a high-profile fight, right? Am I suggesting that I think that Herb Dean should, basically save Pereira and be like, hey, bro, you can't hit him in the back of the head? No, I do think you have to let it play out. But Ciryl Gane is such an honorless animal. He is a terrorist. He is an animal. Literally, I wrote down notes after each fight just to, kind of jog my memory. All I wrote down for Gane is dirty animal. That's what I describe him as. Tom Aspinall's coming! I mean, Gane did this against hitting him back to the head against Tai Tuivasa, against Derek Lewis, against Sergey Spivak, the eye gouge against Tom Aspinall. Even John Jones said in the pre-fight interview after John Jones dispatched him in, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, said Ciryl Gane is known for fighting dirty. He's known for fighting dirty with eye pokes, hitting to the back of the head, and that's why in the first 10 seconds of the John Jones fight, Ciryl Gane kicked him in the balls, and John Jones immediately called timeout like, hey, buddy, you got to watch this fucking guy, okay, because he cannot be trusted. Ciryl Gane is a terrorist. Look, he's a great fighter. He's a fucking animal. And it really is only right, though, that Tom gets to have his revenge. That fight is going to be so big now. Like I said, Tom, get cleared, man. Like, I literally don't care if you have one eye. You have to come out and stop this terrorist. You have to. Please. And that fight will be humongous now. Especially to avenge Chama. Right? Chama couldn't do it, Tom. We need you, bro. The boys need you. As far as this fight went technically, Pereira did, start to get on the gas like I said he should, second half of that round. Started to look a little better. Obviously, total strikes, it looks like he was getting schooled. But, he ended the round better, and then he's got caught in the second round coming in. It happens, man. I mean, Ciryl Gane is a great fighter, but, man, he's a terrorist. He is #1 terrorist for me in the UFC right now. Like, genuinely, I cannot wait until Ciryl Gane is killed by Tom Aspinall. Genuinely, Tom is going to kill him. Then right before that, we did have Sean O'Malley against Amin Zahabi. Look, Sean O'Malley did get the KO. Great for Sean. Excited. Okay. I'm sure the club was turned up with Schmitty. I was skeptical whether or not he could get the KO because, again, we've seen Sean be, perfectly content with coasting to decisions, right? But in this fight, Amin Zahabi literally turned into Ariel Helwani when he stepped into the cage. I mean, I was really worried for Zahabi as far as, lasting the full 15 minutes. When they're showing him right before he gets announced or as he's getting announced, he's like, come on. He's, hyping himself up. That's never a good sign, bro. Okay? He looked scared. He fought scared. I don't know if he landed anything but leg kicks, right? The UFC here doesn't really show, what the actual strikes were, like some websites do. Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, no, that's distance. My bad. Anyways. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 26 leg kicks, six headshots. I mean, he didn't do anything. It was honestly just, there's really just not too much to talk about because Amin Zahabi literally looked like the biggest fraud. I mean, blatantly the worst guy in the top 10, top 15, right? Amin Zahabi, no future to ever challenge for the belt. I don't really think we ever thought that he did, but it's just one of those things where, O'Malley completely outclassed him, and I don't even think that O'Malley didn't really have to do much. That's why it was just we didn't see O'Malley have to overcome any adversity. He literally was just on coast mode the entire time. I did think the stoppage was a little bit early when it first happened because Sean kind of did the showboat salute, walking off, cool, but I definitely think he should fall up on the ground, different story, but then I believe Zahabi right after did actually continue to fall to the ground, so, really probably not a bad stoppage, but in real time, the way the camera cut, it looked terrible to me. I thought, it's the White House, dude, you gotta let him keep going. And, yeah, good win by Sean. He probably does end up fighting Petr Yan, but good for him. Like I say, I'm glad he won, but Zahabi is just so disappointing. I really expected this to be a better fight. And it wasn't because Sean was just on just some different level. Zahabi literally just looked like he just wasn't even, he didn't look top 15 at all. Nobody, if you told somebody that guy is a top 15 fighter in the weight class, bro, they'd tell you you're crazy. Based on that performance alone. Disgusting. Then we had Josh Hokit taking on Derek Lewis. Look, one thing that was awesome about my breakdown, okay, I said Derek Lewis, in his last couple years, he's willing to quit, right? And I uploaded that video. And then we had the ceremonial weigh-ins. And what did Josh Hokit tell him at the ceremonial weigh-in? He said, "Don't take my glory. Don't quit." See, hey, Josh was doing that tape study too, Josh. Shout out Josh Hokit, man. And that's exactly what happened, right? Josh Hokit just looked a little bit too quick. He knew Derek Lewis was a one-trick pony at this stage of his career with the overhand bombs. He just got out of the way and then proceeded to light him up. Had some nice elbows in the clinch. And he was careful on the break. I mentioned that too. I was like, hey, they're going to clinch eventually. You got to watch Derek because, you know, when Derek gets close to you, right, that's the danger zone. But if you can kind of dart in and out against Derek, he's fish out of water, right? And we saw that. Great win for Hokit. He also, you know, hey, man, liberal Twitter losing their minds over Michelle Obama as a man is crazy to me because, like, who didn't know that? You know, like, shout out, hey, do your homework on Joan Rivers. Do your homework on Obama's chefs, okay? Let's just say they all tend to die, okay? Now, supposedly, you know, potentially, you know, I'm not saying it's fully my opinion, but allegedly, right, this is what happens, okay? Don't sue me. I'm not that important, but, like, still, you know, allegedly, right, this happens, okay? Great win by Hokit, though. Back to the actual fight itself. I mean, look, this Josh Hokit, his future in the heavyweight division to me, when you wonder about how far he can go, he kind of gives me, like, Usyk vibes. And I'm not saying he's as technically sound as Usyk. Alexander Usyk in boxing, of course, if you didn't know, who, you know, heavyweight champ. But Usyk came in and beat these giant heavyweights. And that's something we've seen even in the UFC right now, right? The heavyweights are just getting bigger and bigger. I mean, you know, 15 years ago, right? Brock Lesnar, obviously a brick shithouse, but you know, he's like 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'3", right? Now you've got all these heavyweights like a Gane, like a Pereira, like a Tom Aspinall, 6'5", right? Huge guys. And we saw that in boxing, right? With Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Big Bang Zhang, right? All these guys. They're huge. But then these shorter guys are coming in like Usyk, and they beat that style. I'm very interested to see if that's what ends up playing out for Hokit's career. Because there definitely are comparisons that can be drawn there, just in the size difference and the speed difference, you know, compared to, again, who has been the premier heavyweight the last couple of years, right? Hokit, it gets difficult because does he get a title shot? No. But do you really want to roll the dice with Josh Hokit against Sergey Pavlovich? I mean, maybe you have to. Maybe you do. I mean, hey, USA versus Russia, look, Hokit would definitely make it funny. And Pavlovich, I mean, who doesn't want to watch him fight? Right? He's a good fighter, knockout guy. Coming off a big knockout over Taliesin Teixeira himself, which was obvious, but I don't know, man. Hokit's probably like one fight away from the title shot. He's willing to talk on the mic, get him a big fight next. He certainly is going to get one. Derek Lewis, look, man, maybe retire. Maybe fight some jobber you can beat. Not much to say about Derek. I mean, he is what he is at this point. Again, great career, but, you know, is Derek Lewis realistically going to beat anybody in the top 5 to 10? No. I mean, maybe I'm sure you could pick like one guy you could beat, right? But, like, he's never winning the bell at this point, and that's fine. He can still have a great career, but I mean, he landed 8 strikes. Like, the speed difference here was just disgusting. Then we had Mauricio Hoofi against Michael Chandler. Look, again, I was so tempted to pick Michael Chandler. I'm so happy I didn't. Michael Chandler looked absolutely terrible. I mean, for about the first 2 minutes, and Joe Rogan said, you know, it's a nice movement, right? He's not staying still. And then Chandler decides, you know, half a round in, that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat a jab or a kick or something of that nature, and I'm just going to stand there like this. How is that going to work against a guy with the size and reach advantage and the precision striking of Mauricio Hoofi? It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. I'm not saying that I really have the answers for what Chandler was supposed to do instead, right? I mean, again, Hoofi was a minus 700 favorite, right? So, you know, unfortunately for Michael Chandler, he won't be able to adopt another black kid, okay? I mean, the YN Alliance is very strong already, Chandler, okay? Just lead Project Ngannou up the ranks. See, honestly, I really was hoping that Michael Chandler won, because then I was going to suggest If we can't get the Drew Dober, Jalen Turner, Infinity Stones matchup, if you know, you know. What about a Drew Dober, Michael Chandler, and his two sons 3-on-1? Hey, that would be cinema. We're not gonna get it now. I was so excited to announce that if Michael Chandler won, so I couldn't not bring that up. But as far as Hoofy, great win. You know, it's against the 40-year-old Michael Chandler. Give him in the top 5 next. I think I said earlier he should fight Sarukian. Somebody in top 5. I just think that the way that, you know, schedules are going to line up, it probably makes the most sense. Unless they're just going to jump him straight to Gaethje, which is possible. But, again, out of merit, should a 40-year-old Michael Chandler win who landed 3 strikes against you, you know, and only threw 12? Does that get you a title shot? Against a guy who just beat Ilia Topuria? Come on, bro. Hoofy's good, but I mean, and he'd probably be a favorite against Gaethje, believe it or not. But I don't think he should get it yet. One more fight. Michael Chandler retire. And then we've got Bo Nickal against Nickal Daukas. Look, the only thing that made me mad about this fight is that I was smart enough to know that, look, this propaganda that Nickal Daukas is some good underdog pick was crap, right? I also said I wasn't super confident in Bo because Bo, you know, whenever you see a guy that has heart issues potentially, you know, like will to fight, it's a little tricky. Right, but look, Nickal Daukas, the only thing I was going to get to that I didn't like about my breakdown is that he is not a junkyard dog. I said that he's had the junkyard dog path back to the UFC. That's a misread. Like, he had a great path back to the UFC, but, bro, he's got no dog in him, bro. Nothing. I mean, he got taken down. No fault in that. I mean, again, it's Bo Nickal. But then they stand him up, which was kind of interesting because Bo Nickal was working a little bit. Nothing crazy, but against the White House, they wanted to be exciting, right? Then Nickal Daukas gets in the feet and just gets tagged, and this Lydia just covers up. Lionheart Smith style. Just a disgusting performance. Good win for Bo. Look, I'm glad that Bo got to show off the wrestling and that he got a KO on the feet. You know, how good is he, right? I mean, look, we can shoot him back up the ranks. Obviously, he had the setback against Rainier de Ritter. Maybe that's the best thing that ever happened to him, right? Maybe it's given him an extra year and a half now to get better before he really fights somebody who's super dangerous. You know, give him some guy in the top 15, top 10, right? 10 to 15 range, I think. Maybe 15 to 8. Honestly, they should give him RoboCop. Now, granted, that's if you want Bo Nickal to get killed. And again, Bo Nickal will be very live in that fight, but give him RoboCop. I mean, that's a barn burner, dude. And Greg Rodriguez deserves a big fight. Nickal Daukas, I don't know, bro. Go back to fighting in the Apex, top 30, right? Come on, brother. Terrible performance, Nickal Daukas. I mean, I said he's more of a banker. He's a banker, bro. I'm never calling Nickal Daukas a junkyard dog again in my entire life. I genuinely apologize for even putting that in the universe. He's a banker. Like, brother. Just pathetic, bro. I mean, look at this dude. Like, it's just so disappointing because, I mean, to show that little resistance, terrible performance. Then open up the card. Diego Lopes ends up knocking out Steve Garcia. Look, Steve Garcia had a great first round. You can see in the total strikes, 47-24. He was outlanding Lopez. Out volume, too. Steve Garcia was going forward. He got caught coming in the second round. Look, when Steve Garcia did not walk out to We Are Charlie Kirk, his odds to win dropped significantly because he just didn't, you know, it's all aura based, right? I was saying that in the breakdown. But yeah, good win for Diego Lopes. Great fight. Back and forth. It really set the tone for the card. Which was good. It was like, okay, we're going to get a big knockout because Steve Garcia was out bad. I mean, Diego Lopes kind of had him stacked. And it's boom, boom. And you saw, Garcia, the lights were out. And he probably eats one or two more. He's done. So, great win. But yeah, it's Diego Lopes. You know, one thing we really know about Diego Lopes now, and I thought that Steve Garcia might be able to do it, but of course we learned, obviously not, is that here's a great thing to know about fighting. Great fighters will tell you, you can jab with a jabber, you can't hook with a hooker. And Diego Lopes has some of the best hooks in the UFC, period. Right? I mean, you can get stung up with a jab a little bit, but when you start to say, hey, let's exchange in the pocket, okay, with a hooker, it ain't gonna go too well for you, bro. And Steve Garcia, you know, he's a hooker too, right? Like so that's why it was a good fight. It set the tone, right? Like, hey, we're just both gonna stand and bang, but look, man, you can't do that against Lopes, man. You can't. He's gonna put you out. Good fight regardless. What do we go on? 1, 2, 1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. Yeah, not honestly the greatest night of picks. I apologize for that. Pick of the night, did lows. Look. Hey, I'm going to end it with this, man. Time is coming for you, Cyril. Tommy is coming. That's all I got to say, man. You can run. You can't hide. I just cannot wait for Cyril Gane to be unconscious on my TV screen, hopefully in like 6 months from Tom Aspinall's right hand. Great card, though. Production-wise, amazing. The shots we got from inside the White House were so awesome. I literally felt like we were getting a tour of the White House during the fight card. Brilliant by Dana White. Does it again. Whether you love him or hate him, okay, he's the best promoter in fights. He's been that for the last 10 years. Great event. We'll be back in Apex next week. I'll be dropping my predictions for Manel Kape against Pereira Horiguchi soon, which it's got some good matches on that card. So, yeah, looking forward to it. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and hey, we're going to come back next week with some fire. Okay? But Cyril Gane, your days are ticking.